Hello, in this tutorial we will be discussing how TJSOIDE implements anchor points. Anchor points are used to control how the hot wire moves around the perimeter of a part on a fuselage for an airplane design. The first thing to do is to verify that anchor point feature is enabled. In order to do this, open up the configuration window by pressing the configuration button on the main screen and make sure that the anchor points checkbox is set. It is always a good idea to render a 3D model of your design so that you can have a visual cue of the section you're with. Once your design has been rendered, open the Anchor Points window by pressing the Anchors button on the main screen. You can select which cross-section you want to work with by using the Previous and Next cross-section buttons. Once you have selected the cross-section you want to work with, press the Load CS Info button so that the outside perimeter of your cross-section can be processed and loaded for anchor points to be added. It is recommended that you add anchor points only after you are done with your design. The reasoning is that if you change your cross-section shape or add components to it, the anchor point location might move from where you set it and you might have to redo the positions again. In the Anchor Points window, the left screen shows the foremost section of the part you're working with, and the right screen shows the aft section of the part you're working with. The part you're working with is highlighted in red on the 3D image. To add an anchor point, select which code ID you want to work with. In this case, we're going to be adding anchor points to the outside perimeter of the fuselage, which is code ID 1. We will position the anchor points using the scroll bars, moving the scroll bars up rotates the anchor point counterclockwise on the perimeter of the part you're working with, and moving it down moves it on a clockwise direction. You can fine-tune the location of anchor points by clicking on the scroll bar areas below the scroll bar button. In this case, we're only going to add 3 anchor points, which is sufficient for the effect that we want to create on this cross-section. Note that I have added anchor points only to the right side. To do on the left side of the cross-section, I'm going to use the Transfer Anchor Points button, which will position anchor points on the opposite side. You can then traverse the anchor points using the Previous and Next anchor point buttons, and you can adjust the location of any anchor points that you might need to fine-tune. In this case, these are all the anchor points that we want to add for this cross-section. At this point in the screen simulation window, we will be able to see how the cut is performed on the outside perimeter. At this point, the software is cutting the inside part, and we have slowed down the simulation speed so that it's easier to see how the anchor points take effect. Now the outside perimeter is about to be cut. And that concludes this tutorial.